city in northeast Somerset, aptly named after its Roman-built baths. What came first? The bath or Bath? If there ever was a place to busk that is rich with history, then Bath maybe gets the #1 spot. The natural springs that lay in the heart of the city have long been a tourist destination for centuries on centuries. I can only imagine that many a street musician has passed through for a sing-song and maybe a hot bath. Although we all know the secret to being a good musician is not washing. I'm just kidding. You've got to look after your hygiene. The Bath Chronicle newspaper claims that the city has the best buskers in the world. Pretty bold move. So I had to make sure I went and checked it out for myself. And hopefully this video can inform anyone that wants to do the same. Here is how I got on busking in Bath. The city, not in the bath. Alright then. Welcome to Bath. Okay, Bath, a Roman city. Can you believe it? Romans used to be here back in Roman times. Probably the same as every Roman place in Roman times. Yes, I've made it to Bath. A kind of staple city for busking and music, I would think. What with the university and, you know, just being slap bang in the middle of West Country. Pretty cool. Part of British heritage. I have been on a crash course on how everything busking works in Bath today. Honestly, back when I began this morning, I had no idea what I was talking about. And luckily, I've met some buskers who have informed me things that I didn't even know, that I couldn't even find on the council website. So, I'm gonna go through the rules plus a little crash course of what I've learned about busking in Bath with you now. The rules for busking in Bath. My day in Bath can only be described as a crash course on all things busking in the city. The council's busking guide does do quite a good job of letting you know all the rules and guidance and advice, but it doesn't give you everything. But that's why I make these videos, baby. So don't worry, I got you. Bath and North East Somerset Council allow busking, and there is no need to require a license or a permit to do so. There are no set pitches, but they do ask that you are mindful when busking anywhere around the Abbey, on Union Street, on Stall Street, on New Bond Street, Kingsmead Square, and the Abbey Gardens. They're all highlighted on this map. Now, this is the first time we need to interject, as the council don't mention the following in the guide. Because Bath is such a hotspot for busking, the regular buskers have a daily meeting outside the Abbey at 10 AM. Every single day. This is to establish times on pitches. It's a way of the buskers organising themselves so that everyone gets a fair chance at playing in each pitch. That way everyone gets a fair shot playing in the city. Now, I didn't actually go to this meeting because I didn't know I should. I didn't even know it was happening. I only learned about it on the day, which is why I'm telling you now in this video. So if you are visiting Bath, I highly recommend you go to the meeting. 10 AM outside the Abbey. As you'll see later on in the video, I would have definitely benefited had I gone. Had I known about it, obviously. The council go on to state the rules for busking in the city. I'll condense them down for you because they're a bit wordy. A. They recommend 1 hour per pitch. They encourage a culture where buskers share pitches and swap, alternating, so there is no pitch hogging. Pitch hoggers, be gone. B, this just says don't be too loud. C, this is an elaborate way of saying don't get in the way of anyone. D, this says don't block doorways, window displays, and fire exits. E, this says when using fire or chemicals, clean up after yourself. So my fire-breathing, tuba-blowing friend from Watford would be fine in Bath. F, don't disturb street traders. G, this is an important one. When performing outside the Abbey, you must adhere to the traffic light system. I'll go through this in a moment. H, Performance times are between 10 AM and 8 PM. I, money must be donated. No asking for it. J, selling CDs requires a street trading license. K, be courteous to members of the public that approach you and try to talk to you. I think this goes without saying. Be a friendly human being. Just be kind to people. L, conflict issues should be dealt with professionally. No busker bust-ups, please. M, don't repeat the same songs, material. N, Southgate and Milsom Place are out of bounds. They're private land. So, lots of elaborately worded guidelines there from Bath and North Somerset Council. Very poetic. So, this traffic light system for performing outside the Abbey. Apparently, for a while, buskers and Bath Abbey were having some disputes about buskers disturbing peaceful moments and events that were happening in the Abbey. So, to get round this and to make sure everyone was happy, they developed this traffic light system. On the notice board outside the Abbey, they post a sign that gives you the days and times that it's okay to busk. Red obviously means no busking, and green means you can live life loud. Turn that up and rock out. Or it just means you can play. In the 10 AM meeting that happens every day outside the Abbey, that I didn't go to because I didn't know to. I should have gone, but you know, I didn't know. They take all of this into account, and when they're organising who's going to play when, they'll make sure that no one's playing in the red zone so that the Abbey and all the buskers can live in harmony. The rest of the guide just goes through what to do if there is a dispute, and it goes through some of the laws that buskers can be prosecuted for. All very standard bits and pieces. It seems that Bath Council are hot on this stuff when it comes to busking, fully organised to ensure that everyone has a good time. As I said before, I was learning on the job on the day that I was in Bath. I had no idea about the meeting, so I didn't go, and I eventually met a fellow busker who told me and gave me all this info. So that's why I'm putting it all into this video. So lucky for you, you're all clued up now. So you'll be at that meeting. Anyway, let's get on with my day busking in Bath. Spot number 1. In the days leading up to my Bath adventure, it had been raining. And I mean, raining. By the time I got out that morning, I was so fed up of the rain. But the weather forecast for the day was looking pretty good. Although it did say there could be some showers in the morning, so I decided to play it safe. I can see exactly what she means, she said. The rain has subsided, but it is forecast to rain again. So I am picking this spot because it's under some shelter. Let's see what happens. So I'll ride the wave, I'll misbehave, I'll jump into the sea. Tell me which way to the beach. After about 4 or 5 songs in this spot, a friendly fellow busker called Miranda showed up. This is when I got my crash course on all things busking in Bath. Lockdown gonna get me down. Miranda told me where all the pitch recommendations were, as well as informed me about the 10 AM meeting, which I'd missed. Luckily for me, I turned up on a particularly quiet day. There wasn't many other buskers out, and only her and one other busker had arranged where they were going to busk and who was going to busk outside the Abbey and when. I need something sweet to see my teeth into, baby. Miranda explained that she'd be playing outside the Abbey between 11 and 12, and it was like 11:05 when she was telling me this. And she explained that where I was stood, the noise from me could be heard from the pitch she was meant to be playing. In fact, I was facing directly opposite where she would be facing. The country's borders, lockdown gonna get us down. So I moved about 10 meters to the right, and I was set up where Union Street becomes Stalk Street. It seems to be a common spot. Oh, she said, tell me which way to the beach. Okay, we have moved. We've been moved by a fellow busker because I was in the sound. I was making sound above her sound. I don't know how you say that. but she assures me that this is a better spot, so let's give it a try. After the days of rain and wind and grey and just horrible weather, it just felt so good to be back out playing again.
You okay? Did you go to school? But I see you're cool. Yeah, you're the kid the whole day.
And the predicted showers never actually came, so that was good. The reactions from the people of Bath, meh, they were okay. I had a lot of people filming me and taking photos. I also had a fair few donations coming in, but it was surprising compared to how busy it was, because it was busy, really busy. This happens from time to time. It's not that I expect loads of donations. It's just that there are times where I'm in busy places and I do really well. But there are times when I'm in busy places and I don't do so well. Miranda had made the point that we were busking in between the lull of the October half-term school holidays and just before everything gets festive for Christmas. Like this 2-week window where there's not really anything happening. So maybe that had something to do with it. Either way, I was still having a great time. It felt great to be back out there. And I can't say that the reactions were non-existent, because there were a fair few. Bath is just an incredibly beautiful place to be.
I don't wanna hear, no, I don't wanna hear, no, I don't wanna hear it. No, it's more than I accept.
Shout out to my camera tripod holder. Alright, spot one. Let's talk about it. So, spot one started in a different place to where it ended, because I set up and played a couple of songs, and then a woman called Miranda, who is an opera singer and a local Bath busker, came over and started to explain all of the things that I hadn't learnt through the council's website, like, you know, just the general gist of how things work here, which I'm sure I've gone through with you already if I've done my job right. In terms of like reaction and just general how it went, it was alright. I didn't have a bad busk, but I just expected better, especially of how busy it was. It was crazy busy. In total I made £15.71. So that was like 2 hours of playing. So yeah, it was alright. This place is beautiful, and it is nice to be in somewhere that's, you know, nice to be. Spot number 2, and I'm kind of feeling nervous. I've just been wandering around this city for like a good 20 minutes, trying to decide where to go.
Ask me why I do what I did. There's this girl.
Spot number 2. On recommendation from Miranda, I headed to New Bond Street.
Something so fun, and I'm doing anything to make it mine.
This place seems particularly upmarket, and a little part of me was worried that some of the posher shops might not appreciate this punk rock kid playing What's My Age Again by Blink-182. The reaction, however, was really positive. I got nothing but smiles and waves from the nearby cafes and shops. Bath really is this beautiful, almost magical place. You can feel the history.
You very far. Time you should have been known into below. See who is in a punk room.
It's sort of a rite of passage for street musicians. A lot of the established buskers that I know have busked in Bath. So it felt good to be there and finally doing it for myself.
Anything to make it mine. Now it's out of my mind.
Again though, despite the positive reactions, the donations were a little less than I expected. I don't like judging a busk based on donations. I also don't really like expecting donations. It's not what busking is about. It's not the be-all and end-all of why it's such a good thing. I just love playing music. But I do think it's worth noting that in Bath, donations were okay. They weren't amazing, as you might expect. I don't know.
There's this girl holding my hand, shooting a star out to get a grip.
Bath clearly has a lot of talented buskers that are frequent in the city. I assume a lot of the locals are probably used to seeing stellar performances from amazing musicians. So maybe that has something to do with it.
I'm still out of my mind, cause she sat of this little chair. There was this girl.
But needless to say, I was having a great time. And it's not like the donations were non-existent, unlike Reading. Look at that, beautiful. Alright, spot two. Spot two, I actually preferred as a busk. I thought it went a bit better. I felt more relaxed and I got a card tip. I haven't had a card tap in a long time, but I have fixed my sign and redone the card, like the bit that tells you the price, so maybe that's why. I made £22.51. So I even made a bit more in less time. It's still not a crazy amount compared to what I have done in the past. And again, maybe I'm putting that down to the time of year. But this place is rad, look at this place.
It's old.
Spot number 3. Oh yes. Bath was a 3-spotter. I haven't done a 3-spotter in a hot minute.
Remember when we went to Belgium first? I sat on a gear in my 5-seater, oh man.
I couldn't go all the way to Bath and not busk outside the Abbey. Although I hadn't gone to the meeting in the morning, that Abbey had a few free slots and the traffic light was green until 5:30 PM.
We had to make it work, oh no.
So when I rocked up at about 4 PM, I noticed Miranda, the opera singer, my fellow busker friend, was about to finish her set. I asked her if anyone would be playing after her, and she said no, it's free for the rest of the day.
That you'd ever see, you'll never get what people do in these makeshift venues.
So I decided I had to give it a go. To be honest, there weren't many people around at all. It was getting dark and it was a random Wednesday evening in early November.
Flies to the USA, running in New York and need no steady cheesesteak.
I'd say that doing this set was more of like a ticket off the list kind of thing, just to say I'd done it.
What I give to be there now, instead of working we gotta work this out somehow.
The Abbey is sort of the main busking hub of the city. There's actually 3 pitches that surround it. One outside the front, one by the kind of road, and the square where I was.
It means to me. When, I don't think that you don't understand.
Miranda told me that on warm summer's days, and even during the Christmas market, this place fills with people and you get a real circle audience. I imagine it's a great spot if you have a really interactive show.
The memories of family that mean so much to me.
But I wasn't bothered by the lack of people or even the lack of donations at this point. I just enjoyed playing my tunes in a really historic, kind of incredible place.
All of you and all of this, it made me who I am.
Now then, Bath. Spot number 3, literally just in this square where I was. But there's Laura V. Woo! I managed to play in the Abbey, which is cool. Can't say that it went that well, but it was cool. I'm glad I managed to do like the spot of Bath. I can imagine this place goes off in the summer, but on a random Wednesday in November. It was not to be. Bath has been okay. I think I'm gonna need to revisit, maybe in the summer, maybe on a weekend, to give it a fair assessment. But it's a cool place. It's very pretty, so I'll give it that. How's your day been?
Pretty good. I spent 3 hours in the Bath Spa Museum because I got a little bit obsessed.
Would you recommend it as a trip?
Yeah.
There you go. So if in doubt, just go to the Roman Bath Spa Museum instead.
Here's my fun fact. The only thing that I remember from the museum is that there's a natural spring that is 46 degrees.
There you go. So you can get warm in the water if you need to. Alright, signing out. Back to future me. Woo! Busking in Bath, eh? I wonder what the Romans would have made of me. Probably feed me to the lions for not showing up to the 10 AM meeting. But don't worry, next time I'll be there. And you will too, because you know about it, because you watched this video. No excuses for any of us. I imagine Bath is an amazing place to busk in prime time. Warm summer days, festive Christmas markets, the weekend. But I do think it probably gets very, very busy with other buskers. It's a small place and clearly there's plenty of local buskers as well as lots of people passing through. My advice would maybe be to do an extended visit. Go for a couple of days of busking. One probably isn't quite enough. And also, I'd recommend going to the meeting. That way you'll be organised. I'm organised. If you're not a busker though, my partner Laura had a great time at the Roman Thermal Bath Museum. She hasn't really stopped talking about it or reeling off facts since. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then like the video, you know, click the thumbs up thing. And hit subscribe. Hit subscribe so I don't end up getting fed to the lions by the Romans. And if you're a true fan, notifications on. I am August Radio Project. I make videos every week. They come out on Monday. So maybe watch one that's on the screen or, I don't know, check out another one on the channel. And I'll see you then. Peace.